Welcome back to my channel, beautiful people. How you all doing? All me are telling us, please remember to subscribe. Then you click the bell, cause you don't know YouTube policy already. So you'll be notified after you click the bell anytime I upload a video. Cause me now upload no foolishness. Anything else me upload, a clarity towards politics. No propaganda, no bagger. No misleading. Me never tell you something about tape Emily Shields. Yeah man, I record Emily Shields for myself, man. Every time Emily Vice come on, I record Emily Vice. Emily, big up Emily and her views. Now I want to listen to that Emily Shields. It have a little distance tonight this week, yeah, because the topic important. Me no want you listen to 10 minutes and stop. Me no want you listen to 20 minutes and stop. Me no want you listen to 30 minutes and stop. More listen to the whole 40 minutes of Emily. She did have some questions for the Prime Minister when me do that video, but the Prime Minister come answer the questions them because Emily want know for herself if the Prime Minister did know whenever the reporter did ask him the question. Say, did you know that you're investigated by the blah 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 for illicit enrichment? Prime Minister say no. Now paper come out on the day say the Prime Minister no, and everybody start attack. Mark Golding keep a press conference and say Andrew Owen is new. Andrew Owen is fire back with paper to say him no. So when you listen to the Emily Shields report here, you might hear because the Emily Shields are from Wednesday and all of the happenings happen Wednesday. So answers are already out what pertaining to this video where Emily Shields voiced upon and make her views. Last thing before me leave, me love Emily Shields views. Me like Dean Jackson Miller views. Cliff views okay as well. Clive Mullins cool as well. But you see, Emily, me think she dig deeper. So listen to Emily Shields.
The country is at an interesting juncture. There's a lot that is at stake at the moment. And I don't think I've ever been more concerned about the country than I am at this moment. I'm very concerned because a lot of things are colliding simultaneously. And we live in a different time when a lot of things are also out of control. A lot of wildfire information flowing all over. There's a lot to digest, little time within which to digest all of them. And so in the interregnum, in that space, in that gap, particularly when we're so close to a constitutionally due general election, things are coming to a head. The truth becomes a casualty. Many people are not interested in the truth. Many people are not interested in the niceties of refinement. Many people are not interested in drilling down and properly understanding some of what is put before us. And in this space, it becomes almost dangerous for, our total existence. It's as if we are in an existential crisis of sorts. We have in front of us a massive report from the Integrity Commission of Jamaica. And I must tell you that there are a lot of things in this report that give me an awful lot to be concerned about. Apart from the questions that I will pose, which I must, having read substantial portions of the report, I think there are portions of it about which the leader of the country, the Prime Minister, should be extremely concerned. I think he needs to be concerned because, in my mind, Prime Ministers must be seen to be above reproach We do desire them to be near unblemished as possible. And hopefully, if they are to be blemished, they must be blemished by facts, near irrefutable facts. But in this particular century where facts are almost subjective, which is quite sad, a lot of people will suffer serious reputational harm and perhaps cannot recover politically. It is my hope that, institutions and individuals and their reputations can survive this century, but I honestly don't know how it will go. But specifically to the report of the Integrity Commission, the things that concern me relate firstly to credibility and perhaps trust issues that may arise concerning the Prime Minister as a result of some of what is contained in the Integrity Commission report. But crucially, I think there are so many gaps, so many unexplained gaps in this particular report from my reading, that I do desire a lot more from the Commission. One of the first points, which is not, and I'm not going to rank them in terms of major or minor, I've heard the National Integrity Action raise concerns about whether the Prime Minister spoke to us truthfully when he did, when he said that he'd searched far and wide and couldn't find information on anyone within his party who was being investigated by the Integrity Commission. But yet still, we have from the Integrity Commission a chronology of events, and we see where the Prime Minister was notified about an investigation. Having read the report, I note that there were, from 2022, there was one investigation commenced, and that investigation was not to do with illicit enrichment. That investigation started on September 30, 2022, and the investigation arose, we are told, from concerns about the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. We are told by the Commission, the Director of Investigation, that the Prime Minister was notified on the 10th of January 2023, and he was served a notice to attend an interview. On the 12th of January 2023, the Prime Minister was interviewed without an attorney. And based on all the information supplied, we understand from this report that that investigation closed in February of 2023. So that first investigation, it appears, took 5 months. A final investigation report, we understand, was submitted to the commissioners. But the Director of Investigation tells us that that report, which it submitted to the commissioners, was not tabled in Parliament. And I would love to understand, where is this report, and why wasn't that report, which ended on the 19th of February 2023, not tabled in Parliament? Then it appears from my reading that something happened between the 19th of February, when that first investigation concerning the statutory declarations ended, and the 2nd of May 2023. We do not know what happened between that period, but what we know is that a second investigation commenced on the 3rd of May 2023, when a referral was received from the commissioners pursuant to section 14(5) of the Corruption Prevention Act. That's what the DI tells us. When I say DI, I speak of the Director of Investigation. That particular section is the section that deals with illicit enrichment. But remember, all we're told here is that the matter was referred by the commissioners to the Director of Investigation. And additionally, the investigation was pursuant to not only the illicit enrichment provision, but a section 43(2) Integrity Commission Act. And that section deals with knowingly making a false statement in a declaration or knowingly giving a false information at an inquiry hearing conducted by the Director of Investigation. So, the question is, how and on what basis? What happened between the 19th of February 2023 and the 2nd of May 2023 that caused the commissioners to refer the Prime Minister to the Director of Investigation for investigation into illicit enrichment? And this is very important. The Integrity Commission tells us that it notified the Prime Minister by a letter from the Director of Investigation on the 5th of May 2023 about this investigation. It does not provide us with a copy of this letter. And the copy of the letter is important because we have credibility issues now with the Prime Minister, and we need to know exactly what he knew and when. And the only way we can decide exactly why he answered in the way he did is if we are presented with the letter sent from the Director of Investigation or whomsoever it went to from the Integrity Commission. We are also told that the Prime Minister was updated by a letter dated the 26th of May 2023. What? Why is it that we have not seen a copy of that letter either? This is what the appendix is supposed to be for. Then we are also told on the 23rd of June 2023 that there was a letter from the Prime Minister's attorneys which was received by the Director of Investigation. What was this letter about? In fact, when I hear of a letter from attorneys for any individual coming in, I think this individual must be taking issue with a particular procedure. That's what I thought instantly upon seeing that the attorney entered the dialogue. And I find support for this position later down in the report at about page 135, where I note that the Prime Minister said objections were raised by attorneys, but we don't know the subject of the objection. From what the Prime Minister is quoted as saying, it appears to me that when they requested specific expenses of the Prime Minister, I deduce from the objection as quoted that the Prime Minister was saying, I complied with your request by submitting information in the schedule, which is a part of the Integrity Commission Act. And my attorneys have advised me that this is the form I'm supposed to use and perhaps no other. And I pause on this because I wonder if an attorney takes a particular course on behalf of a client and raises an objection before any body, including the Integrity Commission, is it right for that particular body to later say that the information they sought from me I have not complied with with their request, when the reason for my compliance is on the basis of an objection taken by my attorneys. Yeah? And the only way we can know for sure exactly what the Prime Minister was talking about when he's quoted by the Director of Investigation about an objection by the attorney is if the Integrity Commission releases the letter from the attorney dated, they say, the 23rd of June 2023. But I come to a particular date which I understand to have been the 17th of August 2023, when the Prime Minister was asked about, well, he knows who are the people who are being investigated for illicit enrichment by the Integrity Commission. And based on the excerpt we heard, he said he asked far and wide, and he doesn't know, couldn't find anybody who's been investigated. Based on the chronology of events as set out by the Integrity Commission's Director of Investigation, it appears that by that time, the Prime Minister knew, and in fact the Prime Minister had been summoned to an interview with the Director of Investigation. I will solidify my thoughts on this particular issue when the Integrity Commission releases all of the letters that pass between itself and the Prime Minister. And when I say all of the letters, I mean letters from whether it's the Director of Information and Complaints, or the Director of Investigation, or the Commissioners, or any individual. Those documents should be released. But on to the big matter, which is the matter of illicit enrichment. It seems to me that the Commission, having embarked on an investigation led by the Director of Investigation, it concluded that when the Prime Minister's assets, liabilities, income, and so forth were calculated, they could not find enough to establish that the Prime Minister illicitly enriched himself. In fact, they've given us a near treatise on illicit enrichment. They spent about 14 paragraphs of the report dealing with illicit enrichment, taking us to Hong Kong, to the UK, and so forth, and telling us that these are the things that need to be established for this particular crime to be made out. They tell us that it's something that is calculated based on mathematical precision. So the investigator needs to first examine what is the quantum by which this person is alleged to have illicitly enriched himself. And if you cannot find the quantum, establish it, you don't even begin to make out this alleged crime. The Integrity Commission is empowered statutorily to cooperate with other entities in whatever investigations it's undertaking. So from the get-go, within the context of this law, it signed an MOU with the Financial Investigation Division. The Financial Investigation Division is considered a competent authority by the Integrity Commission Act. They are supposed to work together on matters they deem relevant. So too the Tax Administration Jamaica. So I don't expect a cop-out at the end of any investigation by the Integrity Commission where it concludes its investigations and then tells us it wishes now to refer the matter to the FID or to the TAJ, not when it can, within the course of the investigation, cooperate with those entities, and those entities are sworn to secrecy. I've got to go to a break. The Integrity Commission is empowered to cooperate with other bodies. Section 7 of the Integrity Commission Act lays out in full how the cooperation is to go. The person that the Integrity Commission wants to cooperate with or the body must cooperate. In fact, the Integrity Commission can get an order to force the body to comply. When I'm talking about the body, that section goes on to list and to define some entities called competent authorities, to include the Financial Investigation Division and Tax Administration Division. So if and when there is the need to call in any of these bodies, the Commission shall disclose competent authority information or document necessary to assist the authority in investigation and the prosecution, and that authority has to keep that information confidential. So when we're dealing with illicit enrichment investigation now, and we have a lot of teachings, as I mentioned, from the Integrity Commission, 14 paragraph treaties, bold, underline, they give us. And then they tell us that when they apply to the Prime Minister's investigation, they say applying the source and application of analysis methodology, the Director of the Investigation inquired into Mr. Holness's assets as declared for 2018 to 2022, with particular emphasis on 20 to 22. The DI was, however, unable to arrive at a final conclusion in respect of illicit enrichment by virtue of the fact that he was not provided with a schedule of Holness's personal expenses over the relevant period, as well as the unresolved questions around the operations of the connected companies. I find this to be an insulting conclusion for the people of Jamaica. Insulting because this is the very thing. You shouldn't come and tell us now, after a year and a half of investigating the Prime Minister for illicit enrichment, when you are empowered by law to cooperate with entities who can assist. On top of that, you tell us in your report that the Prime Minister's attorneys took objection, and they seem to have taken objection to the Prime Minister providing a schedule of expenses. And if counsel took objection on a point of law, how can you say that the individual being investigated has refused from providing you with the information? What is the legal bona fides of counsel's objection? And that's what you tell us in the report. I'm going to give you the page very soon. I think it's about page 135. You will see when the Prime Minister said, I have complied, and my attorney took objection, and I stand on that objection. But I go back to my initial point. You cannot give us this 170-odd page document and some crucial letters passing between you, the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister's lawyer, and so forth. You haven't given that to us, right? Anyway, when I look at all of what they have provided, they couldn't conclude that the Prime Minister unlawfully enriched himself. And they look at his personal dealings. So what did they do? They lifted the veil of the Prime Minister's companies. And this matter of lifting the veil is such an interesting legal point. There have been cases decided on it. which are available for a lot of people to read. But the DI tells us that in order to lift the veil, he did so because the Prime Minister said one particular company is used as a holding company for his assets. And he believes he's justified in lifting the veil on that. I'm not so sure about that particular conclusion, because there's a section that they quote about lifting the veil where it needs to be proven or asserted that there's fraud or some wrongdoing that will allow them to do that. But at any rate, they lifted the veil of the companies and they looped the companies in one now with the Prime Minister. So whatever separate legal personalities companies have in law, they set that aside because they believe under this circumstance there may be it may be merited for the veil to be lifted. But when they lifted the veils of the company and did the calculation, it seems to me that the quantum that they came to, that the Prime Minister seemed to have illicitly enriched himself with for 2022 is approximately 1.9 million Jamaican dollars. In fact, when they commingled company money along with the Prime Minister's personal funds, there was no illicit enrichment, or none could be claimed for 2021. And I need further clarity on that because a lot of figures are put in the particular report. But when you look at the substantive one, which comes, I think, page 164 or so of the report, you will see that when the company's assets and so forth are added in with the Prime Minister's, we are talking of a figure of 1.93 million that is considered unexplained growth. And even if they are of the view that the Prime Minister benefited in one instance where a charity, for example, money from the charity was invested in a bond and which he eventually got because the money was transferred to his personal account. I don't know that that could change the unexplained growth quantum that they have cited in their report. So the bottom line for me right now is that this is the entity that is supposed to investigate in cooperation with others. It is completely unacceptable to me that at the end of your investigation, you are telling us you have not found enough to conclude that he has unlawfully enriched himself, because you have not engaged the people that you can engage by statute to assist with the investigation. And even having engaged somebody else to do some forensic accounting, that individual formed the view that there was nothing untoward in what they have investigated about the Prime Minister. And again, that crucial report from that individual, why is it not shared with the people of Jamaica? Those documents have to be shared. Integrity Commission, you cannot show us, you cannot tell us rather, you need to show us how and why you have come to the conclusions that you have by putting all cards on the table. And I don't believe that you have. I actually think that the Financial Investigation Division can pick up and do whatever it wants to do now. I don't even know that it needs a referral, particularly from the FID, from the Director of Investigation or anybody. I think anybody can refer the matter to the Financial Investigation Division, but it shouldn't come down to this. You should have worked with the authority and provided us with the information that you are by statute supposed to provide. So what is the reason you have chosen this course? I don't know. But something is completely off with this. The Prime Minister has a lot of questions to answer. But I don't know that the questions should not have come over a year ago from the appropriate people who should have done the proper investigation. We keep going through because it's not an easy document to read. Yeah, could have been better organized and so forth, but we keep going through. But for right now, I can't seem to make up my mind on how to really accept this particular report because so much is absent from it. And I certainly would like those letters, those documents, to help me understand more of why things are the way they are. We know the People's National Party will be having a press conference at about 10 o'clock. We do intend to go to that as soon as it commences, and we have cleared some housekeeping matters here, so keep listening out for that. 876-926-2178-926-8631. There are other portions of the report, listeners, lots of other portions, but we take them in sort of bite sizes because not all information is in one place in it, and it does take diligent reading to understand, exactly what it is saying in some parts and to draw conclusions, right? 926-2178. Let me take a call. This is the hotline. Hello, morning.
Pleasant morning to you, Mr. Shields.
John.
Hello. Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, how are you?
I am doing well, physically. Although I told about the condition what I have, I'm doing well physically and spiritually. But I am ashamed of my Prime Minister while loving my country. My Prime Minister's name should never have been mixed up in this way. It could never be a PJ, never be a Bruce Polling, and then financial thing. It's the second time our Prime Minister name have been mixed up this way. It's shameful.
Bear in mind, John, and the Director of Investigation tells us, before the Integrity Commission doing what it is now doing, the business of submitting statutory declarations, it was completely different.
Well,
completely different. So when you say other prime ministers,
Mr. Shields, what is happening now, Mr. Shields, is shameful and a disgrace to the office of the Prime Minister. And Andrew Oles will do the right thing.
Which part of it?
Ma'am?
Which part of it is a disgrace to the Prime Minister, you think?
I want to tell you why it's a disgrace to the office of the Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister, our chief servant, should not have pride himself in this. Should never, it's supposed to be above board.
In what?
Even when people ask me questions and I'm trying to go around and, he lied to us. It should never have been. The Prime Minister should never have been lied to me. Come clean. And so, I've been going to investigate me, but they want to go and fight it. Simple.
No, that question should never have been asked in the first place.
No, well, it should never be this thing in the first place. It should never be mixed up in this in the first place. Let me tell you something, Michelle. I have two things to ask you about. And I really don't come to ask you about it because Jamaican people is going to decide.
John, hold on a second. Hold on. This is it. This investigation originated with the Prime Minister attempting to comply with something he has to comply with by law.
Brilliant word. Attempting. Brilliant, Mrs. C. The attempt to comply.
It is every single time somebody submits documents to the Integrity Commission, you need to be aware that what you're doing is really just attempting to comply because they may write to you to ask for more. And before you know it, you may being investigated for all sorts of things.
As I've said to you, it not look good, it's rotten. But anyway, I want to talk about different things here. The last PMP conference on Sunday, Mark Golden made some very sound proposal and things that I know will be game changer in this country. One of them is about our students. All right, the no guarantor thing has been passed. Mark Golden was so gracious in telling Jamaica and the world that yes, although I have been proposing this, the present government has implemented it. You like them to the government when them do things about PMP, but anyway, my God is gracious enough. But what is going even further is that graduates who take money from the student loan bureau to do the medication. Sometimes them don't get employed same time. And there's a rule or stipulation that after a certain time you need to start paying for the money. What he said is that until these students are gainfully employed, they never start paying back the money, and they will put a cap, a certain percentage of them salary when they pay back. Because it does not make any sense. That means what I pay $35,000 for the year. And for the month, $35,000 for the month. And I make $80,000 or $90,000 for the month. That means that I have able to eat the lunch during the month because I have to pay at expense. So that little is going to allow our graduates some breathing space to have some money to do other things. Brilliant idea. The next idea with the shields is that, and he has spoken about it.
No, I don't want. No. Hang on a second, John. I listened to the presentation in full. At the right time, I will give my views on that and other matters coming out of that conference. Okay, I don't want you to come here and rehash them. I heard it. Thank you for the call. Have a great day. I want to take another call before we're going to go to the PNP press conference after, so let me take another call. Thank you, John. 876-926-7615. Morning.
Church sister.
How you come up here so no? How you reach up here so?
Anytime. Good morning. Morning. You know, feel glad to hear me one time here. I don't be so time this morning. Good morning.
You what?
I don't be so time this morning. Just put me on the program this morning here.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question to the ask you now this morning, you know. You said the FDA say then investigate the Prime Minister. That's right?
The who? The Integrity Commission.
You know, so the FDA they investigate the Prime Minister.
The FDA?
Why one year then? Okay. Good. All right, thank you.
No, the FID is not investigating the Prime Minister. The Integrity Commission was, and they want to refer the matter to the FID now.
Yes. So then how much money that?
Well,
let me understand the foreign system in the way for you to come make me ask question you.
But that is it. That is it. As far as I see in the report,
yes,
they think it is 1.9 million for 2022. 1.9 million. 1.9 million Jamaican for 2022.
Jesus Christ, and this the people in the quarrel about. Then this your money, sister.
But they say when the companies are investigated, then I suppose more might come up.
So what is the problem? Look here. You know that these people are very wicked. That's why I like to talk to you, because you give me a better understanding of the facts here, you know what me want to hear. Then sister, 1 point something on me a money? Up to a little grounds man have $2 million. A little grounds man have $5 million. 1 point sitting on the people and they go and let them a idiot stuff. What is wrong with me? They come and think say 200 and million US the Prime Minister have. That time he said yes, the Prime Minister have money, but he don't have nothing still.
But sick opinion, because you see that is part of the problem. There was one chart where they say the Prime Minister's net worth increased by 60 odd million, the Jamaican dollar portion. But it is clear to me, based on the chart and even what they say, that hold on a second. What happened is he had this ADMAT company in St. Lucia, which I believe they kept assets in US dollars. And you can see where the US amount went down completely by about 500,000, and it changed over to Jamaican. So I think that is what happened after 2020.
Oh God! Why they can't hold Jamaican people because we literally? This year.
Well,
Look here, sister. Listen to me now. You see, if me they go back Andrew Wallace, me still not back him kind poor. Because Andrew was to have nothing at all, so me can't say Andrew Wallace have money. Because a prime minister in a 2024 crisis happened in the country, the prime minister can't run the country for 2 months by himself. So what would they do with him here? This man have no money, and these idiots have with the son when I idiot like a money the prime minister have. The prime minister broke in have nothing. Eh? And at this time, they create all sorts of animosity from people here. Let me the one that say yes, the prime minister have 200 million US. He ain't broke, he don't have nothing.
no.
Big prime minister have them a little bit of money there. I don't know, have with their son with an idiot because I don't know if most of we can read. I don't think that, you know?
No, I think people can read. It's there. They give you charts. If you look at 166, 167, page 167 of the document, they tell you the difference between the increase in the assets and the reported income of the prime minister. In 2021, it's minus 1 million. And in 2022, they believe it is 1.9. But they say that some of the companies that he is affiliated with, they need more clarity on the movement of money between those companies and another bond and so forth that he had.
The people that with the idiot your sister. Then they say him mother account and him papa account. Then me
that was
a question.
That was sorted from long time.
That one. Can me want me say me they come answer this money when King Yellow Man, when they put money in for your bank book when you go to school, you know have a bank account and have a King Yellow Man name have it on your bank account.
No, but then you see the other thing as well. No, they are
put money in them picking bank book every decent.
No, but no, the prime minister shouldn't be excused on that because they tell us he's been in parliament for over 20, it must be 30 years, and he knows that sort of information you must disclose whether from the account or not.
Sister,
yes, you have to disclose it. But I'm not a politician. I've got to go to headlines though. Thank you for the call. Got to go to the headlines. All right, take care.